Namah Parvati Pataye Govindanam Sankirtanam.
Namaste everyone. In the last session, we have seen Prahlada charitram in Srimad Bhagavatam. Prahladan, is a great devotee. Is a great bhaktan. He only showed the bhakti margam, how to do bhakti. So, this Prahlada charitram, this was told by sage Narada to Yudhishthira. That is how it comes. So, before, continuing this Srimad Bhagavatam, we will, start with an invocation or prayer. Om Shuklam Vardaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chadurbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vigno Vashantaye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Guruve Sarva Lokanam Vishije Bhavaroginam Nadiye Sarva Vidhyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Tennaaduடைய பெரியவா போற்றி எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி சர்வஜ்ஞா சர்வவ்யாபி பெரியவா சரணம் மாயப் பிறப்பர்க்கும் மகா பெரியவா அடி போற்றி. ஓம் ஜன்மாத்யஸ்ய யதோ அன்வயாதிதரதஸ்சார்த்தேஷு அபிஜ்ஞः ஸ்வராட் தேனே பிரம்மஹ்ருதாயாதி கவயே முஹ்யந்தி யத் சூரயः தேஜோ வாரிமிருதாம் யதா விநிமயோ யத்ர சர்கோ மிருஷா தாம்னா ஸ்வேன சதா நிரஸ்தகுஹகம் சத்யம் பரம் தீமஹி. மூகம் கரோதி வாசாலம் பங்கும் லங்கயதே கிரிம் யத் கிருபாதமஹம் வந்தே பரமானந்த மாதவம். So in the Prahlada charitram, we have seen how Prahladan, the Narasimha Murti appeared in a very fearful form, and all the devas and even the, even Mahalakshmi doesn't want to come near Narasimha Murti. But Prahladan, seeing Prahladan, Narasimha Murti, the ferocious Narasimha Murti became Shanta Narasimha Murti. So the story, this Prahlada charitram, sage Narada, he told the Prahladan charitram to Yudhishthira. So Yudhishthira, hearing this Prahlada charitram, shed tears, saying that I did not get any luck or bhagyam like Prahladan. Hearing this, Narada laughed and, Narada said, oh, this is so funny, hearing, because, this Sakshat Gopal and Sakshat Paramatma, that is Krishna Paramatma, he is there with you always. He is there in your place, For 100 years, he is here just like a human being. He is staying in your home, in your place. So that's why, all the Mahans, all the Sadhukal, all the sages, they are constantly, visiting your, your place, your house. And you are such a Bhagyavan, you are such a lucky person that you are getting the, the prasadam of Sakshat Paramatma. Always. Now they realized, all the Pandavas, they all realized that, Paramatma, that Gopalan, the Krishna Paramatma, who is there with all of them, he is not a mere cousin. And he is Paramatma, Sakshat Paramatma, Sakshat Krishna Bhagavan is a Paramatma. And they circumambulated Krishna Bhagavan and prostrated before him. And this is the Prahlada charitram. So this Prahlada charitram was told by Shukacharya to Pariksheta, Raja Pariksheta, and give it the palan of this Prahlada charitram is it gives Sakala Saubhagyam, Sarva Mangalam to the whole family. And one thing I forgot to tell you in the last session that, after hearing this Prahlada charitram, you can offer Panagam to, Panagam as prasadam to to God, to all the gods. Panahaman is nothing but, it's only mixing a jaggery in water with dry ginger. That's the thing he wants. After Prahlada charitram, they used to offer this panagam. So what happens is, after hearing this Prahlada charitram, all the, everyone, they all want to become Prahlada. They want, everyone wants to do bhakti like Prahlada. And it is said that, if one wants to, get bhakti like Prahlada, then one has to follow the Varnashrama Dharma. So thus Shukacharya, he explained about this Varnashrama Dharma, how a Brahmin should behave, how a Kshatriyan should behave, how a Vaishyan should behave, and all the Varnashrama Dharma he described. And all the Yati Dharma, he described about the Yati Dharma. Yati means Sannyasa Dharma. And the Sri Dharma. Sri Dharma means how a woman, how a woman should, one lady, how a lady should behave. See, the goddess Mahalakshmi, the, goddess of fortune, she will stay in our house only it depends upon how the lady behaves there. And all the Upadesams of Narada, and how to do Shraddam, that is the yearly ceremony to the forefathers, and everything, Shukacharya explained to King Parikshit. And then he started describing all the Manvantarams. When he was describing all the Manvantarams, he was describing the Kamaha Manvantaram, where the Gajendra, the mighty Gajendra, was saved by Lord Narayana, like Bhagavan Paramatma. So immediately Raja Parikshit asked, about this Gajendra Moksham charitram. So thus Shukacharya started describing, started telling the charitram of Gajendra, that is Gajendra Moksha charitram. See, the Gajendra Moksha charitram removes Dursopanam. Dursopanam means bad dreams. And it also removes the unexpected obstacles, distress in our life. This is the Palan of Gajendra Moksha charitram. So now Shukacharya started to, tell the story of Gajendra. Like, he started the charitram of Gajendra Moksha charitram. There is a very large mountain called Trikuta mountain. It is, 10,000 yojanas. That is 80,000 miles high. And being surrounded by all the ocean of milk. It's very, very beautifully situated near the ocean, in the midst of the ocean it is situated. This Trikuta mountain is situated. The length and the breadth of the mountain is of the same measurement, like 80,000 miles. And there are a lot of peaks in the mountain range, but there are three principal peaks. That is, one is made up of iron, and one is made up of silver, and another one is made up of gold. So it beautifies all the directions and the sky also. So the mountain also has other peaks which are full of jewels and full of minerals, and are all decorated with very, very nice trees, creepers and shrubs everywhere. And the sounds of the waterfalls coming from the coming on from the mountains create a very, very pleasing vibration, beautiful vibration. In this way, the mountain stands increasingly increasing the beautify of all the directions. The foot of the mountain, you can imagine all these things, how he describes. The foot of the mountain is is always washed by the waves of that milky ocean. So there are a lot of trees, lot of fruits, and lot of flowers around the mountain, Trikuta mountain. Even, describing all these things, even Raja, this Parikshit, thought, how could a jnani, how could a sage who has left everything, how could he describe this like a poet? And he could appreciate the beauty of the nature. How could he do so? But here, the Shukacharya, being a jnani, he sees the Paramatma everywhere. So, every object he sees the Paramatma inside, everywhere, and so that's why he appreciates and considers Bhagavan's vibhuti there. Everywhere there's Bhagavan, vibhuti is there everywhere. So otherwise, you can imagine how come a beautiful rose, come from a bush full of thorns, and everything is Paramatma's vibhuti only. How come the beautiful lotus comes from the muddy earth? Muddy earth means a chair. So always the Mahangal, see, their perception is different. They always see in a different form than us. They see that there is Bhagavan's vibhuti is there everywhere. Bhagavan's creation is there everywhere. That's why they appreciate like a poet, They knows even a Hitler, could not make a nail like this. Only it's a God's super creation that our human, even if you see our body, the human body, you can appreciate Bhagavan's creation. So that's how in this beautiful mountain, in that beautiful mountain, there is a big cave. That's called the Varunan's cave. So inside that, there is a beautiful Udyavan, means garden, beautiful garden. This is called Ritumathur. So the garden belongs to Varuna Devan, Varuna, and there was a sporting place, for all the damsels of the Devas, flowers and fruits grow there. That is, it grew there in all seasons. All seasons it is there. So since Varunan is the god of water, so there was a very large lake filled with, shimmering golden lotus flowers and lots of other flowers. So thus the entire mountain, stood gloriously decorated, beautifully decorated. And in that mountain lived a great elephant called Gajendra. It's a very mighty one. It's a very mighty elephant. It was the leader of all the elephants. The proud part of the elephant was simply by, catching the scent of that elephant. All the other elephants and all the other, ferocious animals like, tigers, lions and other all ferocious animals, just, rhinoceros, great serpents, all fled in fear. By the mercy of this mighty elephant, this Gajendran elephant, small animals like, fox and wolf, buffaloes or bears and rabbits, monkeys, they are, loitered elsewhere in the forest due to this mercy of this elephant. So this is how, surrounded by all the herds, other elephants, including the family, including the female elephants, and followed by other younger ones. Gajendran was a leader of all the elephants. Once this Gajendran was roaming around that mountain. He was roaming around that mountain, seeing all that mountain, and it was all, very sunny day. It was a very sunny day, and it was all perspiring. The Gajendran was, perspiring and trembling and was in search of water. He was roaming here and there in search of water. Now, that's all the surrounded by all the associates, all the associates, they were also afflicted by thirst. They were also surrounding here and there. They were wandering for water. Soon they arrived, at the banks of this lake, this Udyavan, this lake, they arrived there. And they became very happy seeing water inside the lake. So Gajendran, what happened? He entered into the lake, bathed thoroughly, and it was relieved of the fatigue, because he was searching, perspiring for the want of water. What happened is, with his trunk, he drank all the water, and the Gajendran is too attached to the family. He is too attached to the members of the family. So, it being illusioned, had his wives and children, bathe and drink water. And indeed, he raised water from the lake with his trunk and sprayed it over them. He did not mind the labor. It has to take the water inside the lake. It has to spray all over the, for the other elephants. He did not mind because it was doing all the things. Even a human being, due to this lack of spiritual knowledge, what happens is he will get attached to too much to the family. In our Hindu culture, alone, a husband works for his wife and makes her happy, makes her entire family, his entire family happy. Thus, Gajendran here does not, know a distress or a calamity, is waiting to happen for him. He thought that nobody could do anything, nobody could do any harm to him because he's very mighty, he's very mighty, and who could do something to me because I am very mighty. I can do so many things. But what happens is, by the arrangement of the providence, a strong crocodile, what happened? He became angry at the elephant and attacked the elephant's leg, in the water. Gajendran's leg in the water. So the crocodile thought that this lake belongs to me. See, the lake belongs to me. The crocodile thought, it never liked any intruder, intruding, the stranger, intruding in the house, in his house. It thought that the lake is his house. Like an ignorant human being, always think that the house where he lives, he resides, is his own house. But even a rat, rat inside the house also thinks that this house belongs to, that belong to his. Then whose house is this? Like that, the angry crocodile, what happened? It caught hold of the elephant's leg. And the elephant was certainly, it was very, very strong. It was mighty. The Gajendran is very strong and mighty. And he tried his best to get free from the danger. He pulled his legs along with the crocodile for 20 to 30 feet, outside the water. But this, pulling requires a lot of energy, isn't it? Pulling, as well as pulling, he is pulling along the crocodile also. So it requires a lot of energy. So that thus the Gajendran got exhausted. When it stopped for a while, what happens? A while to breathe, it has to breathe. And so it stopped for a while to breathe. The crocodile, what happens? It pulled the elephant, inside the lake for 100 feet. So seeing Gajendran, in this grave condition, his wives, felt very, very sorry, and they all began to cry. They are all in the banks of the river, and they all began to cry. So the other elephants also wanted to help Gajendran, but because of this crocodile's, great strength, they could not rescue him from, from grasping him from behind. So they all cried. They thought that, no distress or no danger could even touch them, because this family is guarded by this mighty Gajendran, and nobody will come and, do any harm. But Gajendran himself, become a victim here. That is how, we all expect, no danger or no distress, as well. We think that we are all safe, we are all mighty and intelligent and intelligent enough to face any trouble and in any situation without Paramatma's help, without the Supreme Lord's help. We can tackle any situation. Deva Balam. That's called Deva Balam. Without the Deva Balam, we can't do anything. Even if we are so intelligent and we have more money or power or position, we can't do anything without Deva Balam. here, this children of Gajendran and all the wives, all the other elephants try to pull him out of the lake. But they have to pull Gajendran as well as this crocodile, which becomes impossible for him, for them. So here, Shukacharya says, it is the providence. It is the providence who has sent this crocodile. And this crocodile is now capturing the leg of Gajendra. So Shukacharya said here to Parikshit, it is all like you, your story. It's the story of Gajendran is like your story. See, you got a Brahmana sabam. You got a Brahmana sabam, curse. That is, sabam means curse. Unexpectedly. In the same way, Gajendran also got it. See, Gajendra Moksham is told in all the Puranams, Linga Puranam, Vishnu Puranam, all the Puranams, Gajendra Moksham is told. Gajendra Moksham, the story of Gajendra Moksham is such a punya, charitram. Here, all the children, all the wives waited and cried in the banks. And how long they can do that? How long they can cry. So, they will, they'll get hungry. They will enter in the forest, after some time to take some food. So they enter the forest, take some food, and then they will come. They will cry for some time. Gajendra will also cry along with that, all the wives and other elephants. He also cried. And that's what is the palan. The palan, the fruitive action is that only. See, as days passed by, what happened? They went to another forest. They were all roaming in that forest. But, after that, they went to another forest and come back after 10 days. And then they will cry, seeing Gajendra. Gajendra will also cry along with that other elephants. So this went on for a few days. And after that, they will come, once in few months, like 3 or 4 months. See, that's how it went on for a year. After that, they totally forgot. See, this is how the situation will be even for us, like human beings, If one is sick, what will happen? They will take care. Okay, the people around us will take care for some time, for some days. They will admit in the hospital, they will take care. Okay, about how many days they will take care? People try to forget things. They wanted to move on. So this is how it will be happening even to the human being. So here, what happens? The elephant and the crocodile, they fought in this way, pulling one another in and out of the water for 1,000 years. Even the devas were, were very surprised seeing this sight of, tug of war. So, but Gajendran here, what happens is, he was expecting that at least they will come and visit and take care, and somehow or the other, they will find a way how to rescue him. So he was waiting. He was expecting and expecting and expecting, and nobody turned. Devas, all the devas were watching the tug of war between this two, Gajendran and the crocodile. But here, what happened? This Gajendran being pulled into the water and fighting for many, many, many long years. What happens? This elephant being diminished in his mental, physical, and sensual strength. On the contrary, the crocodile is being an animal of the water, isn't it? So it increased its enthusiasm, physical strength, and sensual power. So what happened is, slowly the Gajendran, started realizing that, people will come only if you are wealthy, healthy, and, you lead a good life. Otherwise, nobody will turn, come and, look at you. So he consequently thought for a long time and finally reached the following decision. Like, the other elephants who are my friends and relatives could not rescue me from this danger. What then to speak of my wives? They can't do anything. It's by now he understood that it's by the will of providence. It's by the will of providence that I have been attacked by a crocodile, and therefore, I shall seek shelter to the Supreme Lord only, or the Paramatma, or the Brahman, who is the shelter of everyone, even the great Mahans, even the great Mahangal. So one who is intelligent and who understands that there is a great and supreme authority above everything, above everything, he is so powerful and he is so influential. The serpent of he says that the serpent of the eternal time means Yaman, which is the fearful, which is fearful in force, endlessly, chases everyone. You can't escape from Yaman. He is ready to swallow him. And if one who fears this serpent seeks shelter to the Lord, then the Lord gives him protection. For even the death, this Yaman, runs away in fear of the Lord. So now he is slowly understanding the situation and he is praying to the Lord. See, I therefore surrender to him who is supreme and great and powerful, and actual. He is the actual shelter to everyone. So Gajendran started praying to the Lord, and he remembered all the prayers through the Smriti. He started telling that, renunciates and great sages who see all the living beings equally and who are friendly to everyone and who flawlessly practices in the forests the vows of Brahmacharya, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa, desire to see all, desire to see the all auspicious lotus feet of the God. May that supreme God be my destination. He started praying like, Namo Namaste Akila Karanaya, Nishkaranaya, Adbhuta Karanaya, Sarva Gamamanaya, Maharanavaya, Namo Apavargaya, Namo Apavargaya, Harayanaya. See, you are the cause of all the causes. But you yourself has no cause. You yourself have no cause. You are the wonderful cause of everything. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. And you are the shelter of all the Vedic knowledge. It is you, it is you who can give liberation, to me. Thus Gajendran, offered his namaskarams and charanagati with tears. Those who are, attached to this material world, they do not understand the Lord. But the sages, who left this, all this material activities, mental concussion, home, relatives, friends, money, they only can understand you. I surrender to that Lord. He is the only one who can rescue me. So initially I thought my wives, my friends would save me, but nobody could save. Those who desire for, kama, means sense gratification, or liberation means moksham or artham, they got what they desire from praying to the Lord. What then is to be said for other benedictions? Benedictions means boon, means varam. Indeed, sometimes the Lord gives a spiritual body to such ambitious, worshippers. May that Supreme Lord, who is unlimitedly merciful, bestow upon me the benedictions of liberations from this, present danger and from this materialistic way of life. Mahangal. He says, Mahangal who have no desire and who fully surrender and always hear and chant about his activities, they always merge in the ocean of the transcendental bliss. I surrender to that Supreme Lord. I surrender to that Supreme Almighty, upon Mahangal, always dwells in this, in a secluded place, and never ask for any benediction. These are all the prayers, the meaning of prayers given by, Gajendran. I pray to that Supreme Almighty of Godhead, who is eternally existing. Eternally existing means he does not have any end. He is Akhandan, who is invisible, who is Chitkaran, who is, Anandakaran, who is Asankhya, who is the Lord of all the personalities. He is, available, only through bhakti. He is available only through bhakti. He is subtle. He is beyond the reach of my senses. And he is transcendental to all, external realization and is unlimited. He is not limited. He is unlimited. He is the original cause. He is completely full of everything. He is completely full of everything. He is neither demigod, devas or asuras or demon, nor demon, neither human nor bird or or beast. He is not a woman. He is not a man. He is not a neuter or neuter, nor he is an animal. He is not the material quality or a fruitive activity. Means he is not any karma or karma palan, a manifestation or a non-manifestation. He is unlimited, He prays like this and he is all my Rakshagan. He is my Rakshagan. So I simply, desire eternal liberation from this covering of ignorance. So Gajendran shouted, like Adi Moolame, meaning the source of everything. Source of everything. Hearing this, the other Adi Devatais, Adi Devatais and all the demigods, that is, they thought that he did not, call us or invoke us. Invoke all the, invoke the demigods, all the devas, that is headed by Lord Brahma. He is not invoking Lord Brahma. He has not invoked Lord Shiva, Indra or Chandra. So thus none of them, none of them approached him. They all thought that Gajendran did not call us. He is not calling us. Why should I go? We should go. Why we should go? So Gajendran thought here that he never did that much punya. Nobody is coming for his rescue. He thought that, okay, I have not done so much of punya. That is why nobody is coming for rescue. He thought he became, because of my sinful condition, Bhagavan is not hearing me. Paramatma is not hearing me. So thinking that, he became very much exhausted. So after understanding this kind of, awkward condition of Gajendra, who had offered his prayers, the Supreme Almighty, the Paramatma, who lives everywhere, appeared there carrying his disc. Disc means chakram, and other weapons. He appeared there, on the back of Garudan with a great speed. Gajendran has been, forcefully captured by this crocodile in the water and was feeling actual pain. But this Harinarayana, Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, shows his disc. Shows his disc means chakram. He is showing his disc. And, he says that, showing the disc, and he says that, don't worry, Gajendra, I am coming. Okay, don't worry. All the worries are going to flee from now. Okay, all the worries are going to go now. So seeing Lord Narayana, with the disc in his hand, with the chakram in his hand, and with the Garudan, he immediately took the lotus flower, nearby lotus flower in that lake, in his trunk. And with a great difficulty, because, due to the painful condition, he said, "Oh my Lord, Supreme Almighty, oh Paramatma, Adi Moolame, I offer my respectful obeisances, unto you." And the Narayaniam Bhattatri says, he offered, prayers using 1,000 lotuses. Whether it is true, then the Guru Ayappan there, he nodded his head saying that it is true. That is why, Guru Ayappan, he has one flower, lotus flower in his hand. That is given by Gajendra. Thus, Harinarayanan, Lord Vishnu got down from the back of Garudan. He severed the crocodile's, mouth from its body with his chakram, that is disc. And due to his countless mercy, costless mercy, pulled the Gajendran, outside the lake, out of the water. And Gajendran was freed from the crocodile after 1,000 years. In Bhagavatam, the 4th chapter of 8th, canto describes the previous birth of Gajendran and this crocodile. There was a king on the Gandharva planet, Gandharva Lokam, Gandharva planet, whose name was Hu. Once the king Hu was, enjoying with woman in a water, that is Jalakride. He's doing Jalakride with a woman and with some ladies there, with all the devis. And in the same lake, what happened? A Maharishi Devalar, sage Devalar, Maharishi Devalar was also taking bath and doing his Anushtan. What happened? The Hu king, who was enjoying with the woman, also was enjoying pulling the leg of this Maha inside the water. He disturbed the Rishi, he disturbed this Maharishi Devalar, pulling his leg and getting up and showing his head on the other bank of the river. So, but he was okay. The Devalar Maharishi was patient for some time, but he was doing continuously. He was continuously disturbing him. And this Maharishi got angry, became very angry, and he immediately cursed him to become a crocodile. Crocodile only, it goes inside the water and it will take the, its face outside the water also. So King Hu now he realized the mistake and he was, was very sorry. When cursed in that way, like, he become a crocodile, like, and he begged pardon from the sage, who is in the Mahangal, as I always say, that Mahangal was a very compassionate. Sages are very compassionate. So he gave him the benediction that he would be freed when Gajendran was delivered by the Lord. Thus the crocodile was delivered when killed by Narayana, Lord Narayana. When Gajendran, by the mercy of the Lord, became one of the, now the Gajendran became one of the Lord's associates in Vaikundam. He went to Vaikundam, he became one of the associates, like he got 4 hands. Like this achievement is called Sarupya Mukti. Sarupyam, or the liberation of receiving a spiritual body, exactly like that of a Lord, like Narayana. That is called Sarupyam. Samipyam means this near the God. Sarupyam means, becoming like a Lord, like in looking like a Lord. So Gajendran, what happens in Gajendran's previous birth is, Gajendran in his previous birth, he had been a great devotee of Lord Vishnu in the previous birth. And he was a king. He was a king in a Dravida Desam. He was following all the Vedic principles. The king retired, from his family life. He constructed a small cottage in the Malayachala hills, where he always worshipped the Lord. One day, what happened? He was keeping Mauna Vradam. On that particular day, the great sage Agastya came. And the king received him, but he never talked. He said no word, he never talked. He was showing all the sign, he was showing all the sign languages. But before Mahangal, Mahangal or or they are all great people. They are all great personalities. They have to be worshipped. And we, as a human being, or we are a little bit lower than all those Mahangal. So we should not, we should not do like this and that, and we should not show all the sign languages to Mahangal. So the Mahangal are equal to God, isn't it? So Agastya, what happened? He cursed him, saying that you become an elephant. Elephant is the animal which always nods its head. So, in accordance to the curse, the king was born as an elephant, but he forgot all the previous activities in spiritual service. But when it got attacked by the crocodile, he remembered his past life and remembered all the prayers, because he was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, and he has learned in the previous life. He remembered all those things. Because of that prayer, he again received the mercy of the Lord, and became one of the Lord's, four-handed associates. So here in this Gajendra Moksham story, there is a charitram. Swami Bhagavan himself says the Phala Stuti. That is, he said, those who remember me, waking from the bed, fully concentrate their minds with great attention upon my form, your form means Gajendran's form, the lake, the mountains, the caves, the gardens, the plants, the Trikuda mountain, my chakram, my disc, that is my etc., will be liberated, will attain moksha, and will be free from all the evil dreams also. So this Phala Stuti of Gajendra Moksham is told by Bhagavan himself. So this is a very, very punya charitram. So, simply it is said in Gajendra Moksham, simply because, of hearing this narration itself, hearing the narration or the story itself, they gain a, reputation as devotees. And they are unaffected by all this, the contamination of this Kali Yugam. And they never see any bad dreams. So this is a wonderful story, wonderful charitram, told by Shukacharya to Parikshit, this Gajendra Moksham charitram. So we will conclude here with the Gajendra Moksha charitram, and we will start with Amrita Vadanam and other Mahalakshmi Vivaham in the next session. So this Gajendra Moksha charitram is told by Shukacharya to King Parikshit. And we will conclude this session saying Purnamidam. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.